So we're doing our reading test corrections here. And we had The Shade Seller, a Korean folk tale. And this one we read in class, and then it was on your test. Okay. So when we go over to question number 1, what is the theme of this passage? Okay. So you have to think about, what was it all about? Was it all about nature?
No.
No. Was it all about traveling?
No.
Was it about money?
No.
Kind of.
No.
But was it about did somebody spend their money foolishly? They wasted it? No, so it wasn't all about that either. So the correct one would be A, people should share with others. That was throughout because the merchant did not want to share, but the young man shared freely with whoever came by. So I am going to put reading test 5. Corrections. Okay, make sure to put your name on there just in case it becomes separated from your test. Okay, or like when you upload your pictures, it does help me if you have your name, because sometimes I click on one picture, but it shows me somebody else's picture. Because I guess I clicked twice or something. I don't know, but the names help me even on mine. Okay, number 2. Which sentence best tells how the young man is different from the merchant? The merchant fails to care for the tree. Is this all about taking care of the tree? No. So we can just automatically cross that one out because it's not about taking care of the tree. The merchant tries to keep the shade for himself. Is it about that?
Yes.
The merchant chooses to live alone.
No.
No, because notice here it says he does not live alone. It says the merchant and his family. So he doesn't live alone. So that's not a good answer either. Here it says the merchant likes to stay in one place, but the young man likes to travel. Is it all about traveling again? No. So it would be B, and I'm not going to make you write that whole thing, but please do write B very neatly. Okay. The merchant tries to keep the shade for himself, but the young man allows others to enjoy it. So I could just put merchant equals greedy, right? Trying to keep it all for himself. Young man equals sharing. He's a sharing kind of fellow. We'll just sum it up. Okay. Real short notes. Okay. What text evidence supports the theme of the passage? Now this goes back. Sorry, I'm going too fast. There's no need to have that out unless you're wanting to lose it. Apparently, I'm told, Ms. Waters told me I'm too nice, that I give too many chances with things that they're playing with, that they should not be playing with. That's who was in the hallway at bathroom break. That wasn't the principal. Okay. We get it? Which text evidence supports the theme of the passage? So you should go back, and the theme of the passage is people should share with other. So text evidence means these are sentences out of our story. Which one is about sharing? The magnificent shade tree grew near this merchant's house. Is that about sharing? No. There they remain to this day, and any weary traveler who passes by is always welcome to share the shade. Is that about sharing?
It even said the word share.
Is this one about sharing? The young man traveled a long way and was very tired. Nope. While he rested his body, he kept his mind. Nope. So it's got to be B. Even though you think it's B, guys, always check out the other answers. Okay, just in case, because they might have a better answer. B. Okay, and I'm just going to put on there sharing because that's our theme. And that's the one that mentions sharing. Okay. Number 4, why does the merchant move away at the end of the passage? So if it says end of passage, what should I do?
Go back.
Go back. I should read the end. Soon after that, the merchant and his family moved far away. It doesn't really say why he moved away, does it?
Because he wanted to get away from young boys.
They wanted. Why would he want to get away from him?
Because he doesn't like it.
He and his family are making too much racket. I like that word. It's so much better than noise. He decides to build a better house somewhere else. Nope. He wants to help the young man? Nope. He thinks a way to make more money? Nope. He wants to get away from the young man and the, I like that word, racket. Okay. Whoops, no, circle. So 4 would be D, and I'm just going to write get away. Get away. Okay. There we go. It's a little better. Shh. Okay, number 5. Okay. What information would be most important to include in a summary of the passage? The person who planted the tree. Is that even in our story? No. What kind of food is sold under the tree? No. That's like a detail of a detail of a detail. The reason why the young man enters the house?
No.
Probably important. Why did he go?
See the bottom.
Okay, to follow the shade. Okay, so I'm gonna put out there. I like that you guys answered to follow the shade. That's a pretty important detail, though, isn't it? The time of day when the merchant sits in the shade, is that really important? No. The follow. Okay, well, I'm writing and talking at the same time. So C would be our best answer for number 5. Okay. I think that's the most important detail to put in there. Reason why. I'm just going to write reason why. And please do write the words, because occasionally somebody writes the wrong thing here. If you actually write the wrong thing here, then I'm going to count it wrong. But then if I see the words, I'll be like, oh, they just accidentally wrote the wrong letter. And I'll count it correct. Number 6. What is the main conflict in this story? So the conflict is the problem. The shade keeps moving. Is that a problem? No, that's just a fact of life. The young man is tired and hot. Is that the main problem? It's all about him being tired and hot. No. The young man's family is really noisy. That was a problem.
Well, it wasn't the main.
Wasn't the main problem. The merchant is greedy and doesn't want to share. D is definitely the best answer. And think about it. Is the young man's noisy? Is that a problem for his own family or just for the merchant? Just for the merchant. But is this a problem for everybody? Whoops, you can't see. The merchant being greedy, is that a problem for everybody?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we'd have D. You can put in there the greedy merchant.
Miss Rainey, can you I can't see what you're writing.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes I write and then I have to adjust it a little bit. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know, though. Please let me know every single time I do that.
Wait, can I see the top?
Yep. Okay, hold on. Shh, guys, we have just a few minutes left. So unless you really need something, you can do these. Put your pant legs down. Please ask your parents for lotion this evening. Okay? Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Shh.
Wait, can you go down?
Thank you, Shannon. Okay, number 7. In paragraph 6, so what should we do? Okay, I would stop right there. I'm going to read the question just so I know what I'm looking for, but you have to go back and reread. Why does a young man repeat the words of the merchant? And go back to 6. Sell me the shade. Well, sell me the shade, repeated the young man. He stared at the merchant in astonishment. How can you suggest such a thing? No one owns shade. Well, I'll go back here. I know, just hold on. Let's read our problem answers. Does he want to be more like the merchant?
No.
Bogus answer. He thinks the merchant has a good idea. Is that why he's repeating the words? He cannot believe what the merchant is saying.
Yes.
Okay, let's read the last one. He does not understand what the merchant wants.
No.
No, he understood him. Okay, that has to do with the word astonishment. It means you're shocked. You're like, what? Astonished. Like you guys, when I said we won the recycling contest by almost 300 pounds. You guys were astonished. You couldn't hardly believe it.
We use like this.
Okay, see? So I'm going to put couldn't believe. Couldn't believe it. Yes, sir, it is. I know. Okay. Number 8. Who is the narrator of the passage? The merchant, the young man, someone who is outside the events of the passage,
Yes,
someone who knows the characters.
Someone who's outside the house.
Okay, it's not the merchant because they would be using, if it was one of these, they'd be using the pronouns I, my, we.
It'll be,
That's first person.
first person.
Mm-hmm. So which one did you say it is?
C.
C. Well, it's not someone who knows them. Okay, it would be C. Outside the events.
Someone outside the event. Someone outside
Outside the events. Okay,
the.
and let's do 9 and 10 here real quick, and then we'll do the other half of the test tomorrow. Guys, you did a great amount of work. It's only going to shorten our party a tiny bit. And we might be able to do it in the morning. Okay. So it's going to require you guys though to focus and be quiet. Number 9. Which of the following characteristics identifies a story as a folktale? Animal characters that display human characteristics. No, because there are no animals in here. A traditional story that originated from a specific culture. Yes, let's read our other one just in case. Main characters possess superhuman. Do we have superhumans?
No.
Are there explanations of beliefs, like religious beliefs or natural occurrences? There aren't even those in there. So the only possible answer would be B. Okay. I'm going to put it because it's traditional. In a specific culture, which specific traditional, which specific culture was this one from?
Korea.
Korea, the Korean culture. Okay. So which specific culture was this from? Korea. It's a Korean culture. Okay, so that was one of your clues too. Number 10, what is the best summary of this story? Okay. Now, number 1, or A, is not the best answer because it says a greedy merchant wanted to come up with new ways to make money. That part's correct, right? So he charged a young man to use a shade under his tree. The young man followed the shade as it moved with the sun. The young man ended up moving into the merchant's house. But this does tell us, this leaves up a whole part about what?
It forgot the noise from
What?
Something.
Yes, it forgot a whole bunch of stuff there, especially about the noisy family. So that's not a good answer. The young man, tired from traveling, wanted to rest under a shade tree. The greedy owner demanded that the young man pay for the shade. The young man paid for the shade. Frustrated, the merchant moved away. No, because again, what did it leave out? Something very important. It left out the noisy family. Why he moved away? A tired young man wanted to rest under the shade tree, but the owner, a greedy merchant, demanded the young man pay to use the shade. After paying for the shade, the young man followed the shade. As it moved with the sun, he ended up inside the merchant's house. The young man invited his relatives to join him. Frustrated, the merchant moved away. Now, does that tell us why he moved away? Yes. From that day forward, he shared. Okay. Let's just take a look at D just in case. A young man paid a greedy merchant to use his shade tree. The merchant became frustrated with the young man and demanded to buy back his shade. Does that tell why he got frustrated? No, again, it left out what? The noisy family and all the relatives, and that the man moved into his house. That was kind of important, wasn't it? But only when the shade was there. As soon as the shade left, the guy had to leave, right? Okay. And yeah, and this one, it says the young man declined the merchant's offer. From that day forward, the young man allowed anyone to share the shade tree. It doesn't tell us that the merchant left. Okay. So the best answer was C because it includes all the important